All right, welcome back to JQLFC. Pardon the audio for a little bit. And for this video, I'm just going to quickly recap the entire World Cup. We are a little over 24 hours after the World Cup final, where Spain beat Argentina 1-0 in extra time to secure their second star in the World Cup. Had a bit, and because it's after more than 24 hours, I had a bit of time to think about what I really want to say about this World Cup. And there's been a lot of storyline themes going around this World Cup, and to be honest, it's one of the best on the overall. I would say, you know, it has that Avengers feel towards it. You know, the Marvel Cinematic Universe to feel to this World Cup, and how in the previous video I said Lionel Messi was the Thanos of this World Cup, and eventually, just like the multi cinematic universe, just like Avengers Endgame, Thanos was ultimately defeated. Lionel Messi was ultimately defeated. The Iron Man, if you will, the Iron Wall of Spain. You know, they are the ones that snap their fingers, if you want to put it that way. You know, and said to Lionel Messi, figuratively, of course, you may rest now. You know, so congratulations to Spain, definitely. The criticism in this final is that the Argentine players, the way they behaved, right, and it's very disgraceful. It's very unprofessional, to say the least. You know, I mean, if I were to put it in a very nice way, some of the players were unprofessional. You know, for example, Enzo Fernandez, you know, he was a hero for Argentina for crucial parts of this tournament, including the semifinals when he got the equalizer. For him to just charge in like that, knowing he's on a yellow card, that was selfish. That was disgraceful. So the second yellow was the right call. Whether he likes it or not, he can do this waving on the one, but he knows full well that was a sending off offense. That was a second card offense. So the right call was made. You could say justice was served, you know, and what happened to the? I mean, as much heart as Argentina showed, and if you look at the course of the World Cup, forget about whether you people out there think it's rigged or whatever. They had the heart, but for whatever reason, the heart was not on full display in the final. How do you, Argentina? All right, how do you not have one shot? Forget on goal, on target. You didn't even have one shot until the end of extra time. 120 minutes, you have 0 shots. You know, Scaloni, the coach, might have to take a bit of responsibility for this. It's almost as though I saw Argentina wear white with a red cross and a 3 Lions badge, because remember how England defended too early in the semi-finals and Argentina fought back. It looked like as if Argentina was England from the majority of that final. You know, they were all too defensive. They didn't put enough attacking options. Scaloni could have put Lautaro Martinez. He could have put Simeone a bit earlier. If Alvarez was not performing, he should be out. You know, so all this stuff could have been done in 90 minutes. You know, they should have taken the initiative to Spain. You know, they should have pressured Spain just like how Spain pressured them. You know, they could have taken a page out of. They could have learned something from France versus England in that bronze medal match, where even though France and England had nothing to play for, but they just ran all out. Argentina should have done that. They could have done that, but they didn't, and they were just too pessimistic. They were too defensive minded. And Spain, to their credit, right? Spain, who have conceded only 1 goal in the entire tournament, they took advantage of that. They were Argentina, if you want to put it this way. You know, it's as though Spain Spain actually took a page out of Argentina's playbook in the semifinals, if you want to put it this way. You know, so I got no sympathy for Argentina losing the final because they deserve to lose. Spain deserved to win, and the right result was that was the right result. And I hear all the pundits and YouTube channels say it's going to be a disgrace if Argentina somehow managed to go to penalties without a single shot on goal. And I totally agree with them. That would have been a robbery. The narrative would have definitely changed. It would be like, hey, Spain, you had 2 hours to get a goal. You didn't get a goal, and if Argentina won on penalties, that's on you. So I think so. The final was the right result. Spain won 1-0 after extra time. The red card for Paredes after the match, that was justified. He did something disgraceful. You know, there's no excuse. Argentina with the heart that they have shown throughout this tournament. Let's be clear. Let me make myself clear again. They showed heart for the entire tournament up until the final. Up until the final, they messed up in the final, and they screwed Lionel Messi of a back-to-back World Cup. Speaking of Lionel Messi, I'm gonna ignore all the Messi haters. I'm not a Messi fan. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a Messi fan. But even I, using a Roman Reigns reference, have to acknowledge the GOAT, the greatest footballer of all time. It is very sad that he couldn't end his international career with a back-to-back World Cup. He's gone to 3 finals. He's captained 3 finals. He's the oldest captain in World Cup finals history. It's real sad, but you know what? For everything that he has done for 20 years, 6 World Cups, he's won 1 eventually. He's won 2 Copa Americas, at least 2 Copa Americas that I know of, multiple Champions Leagues, multiple La Ligas, multiple Ligue 1s. When he was at MLS, he won a Gold Cup. So, as far as I'm concerned, I think we can all safely say this is the end of Lionel Messi's international career. It's real sad to see him crying because we know how much that means to him. But let's put respect on Lionel Messi, and you know what is what a great international career. In fact, you know what, if he retires completely after this World Cup, no one can blame him. If anything, everybody's gonna pour in tributes and say thank you, Lionel Messi. I think you'll go down as you will go down as the greatest until somebody else comes along. But you know what? The way I see it, at least in my lifetime, I'm very blessed that I got to see him play football on the television screen, because I never met him personally. But to see him play football, to see him win all these accolades, he deserves every single one of them. And I've said this before, him and Ronaldo, 2 GOATs, 2 of the greatest in one generation, is very hard to come by. So I thank God that I'm alive to see these 2 go head to head to perform. This World Cup, I think at the end, this World Cup really was a passing of the torch. This World Cup has seen the last of CR7, Lionel Messi, the likes of Luka Modric, Neymar Jr. Let's not forget about him. And a few others as well. This is the last World Cup for them, but this is the end of one era, but also the beginning of the next. Because now with Spain as world champions, Lamine Yamal has won his first World Cup at age 19. He's not even 20 yet. He's won his first World Cup already. And he joins a very elite list of teenagers who won the World Cup. Kylian Mbappe and Pele. And now there's Lamine Yamal. The next generation has truly arrived, and they're the stars for future World Cups. You're gonna see, especially with FIFA, I think they want to go with more teams. You're going to see the likes of Kylian Mbappe. You're going to see the likes of Erling Haaland. You're going to see the likes of Lamine Yamal. You're going to see the likes of Jude Bellingham. So the future looks bright for the World Cup, for international football, for international football stars, because the next generation is going to be spearheaded by these young guns. So it's this World Cup really, I think, is one of the best World Cups ever. So big ups to all the players, big ups to FIFA. As much as people say there's a corruption there, whatever. But you know what? This World Cup, one of the best. Speaking of one of the best, I'm gonna turn this video into a little bit more somber note. Rest in peace to one of the best Liverpool players of all time, a Liverpool legend, the one and only Kevin Keegan. I've never watched him play. I only know him as a manager when he was managing Newcastle. But before King Kenny Dalglish, as far as I know, if my history serves me correct, if my Liverpool history serves me right, before King Kenny Dalglish, there was Kevin Keegan, and Kevin Keegan was one of the key players, one of the biggest stars in Liverpool Football Club during the 1970s. Him and his strike partner John Toshak. I've seen on YouTube some videos about Toshak Keegan, and it leaves an impact when in 2011 when Kenny Dalglish came back as Liverpool manager. The one thing he wanted to do was recreate the Toshak Keegan partnership. How do I know that? Well, when he signed Luis Suarez and Andy Carroll in the same transfer window, then right away I was thinking, okay, Toshak Keegan part two. That is the impact of Kevin Keegan. Where Luis Suarez was the next Kevin Keegan, and King Kenny wanted Andy Carroll to be the next John Toshak. So, rest in peace, Kevin Keegan. He passed away from cancer, age 75. What a legend. My thoughts and my prayers go to the Keegan family. So on the last note, it's now international football coverage is over. I'm gonna resume with the transfers. Of course, during the World Cup, we did sign a World Cup winner, Victor Munoz. We sold him from Newcastle, and of course Jeremy Jacket. We agreed to sign him in January, but we brought him in officially this transfer window. But who's next? That's the big question. And with FSG undergoing some internal restructuring because Michael Edwards is left, Richard Hughes is leaving. Who's going to take over the transfers? There's so many names that's being linked to us, but I won't put too much stock into those transfer rumors. But I will try to periodically, from time to time, update you guys out there about the latest transfer news until the season starts, until the end of the transfer window. So until then, like, comment, share, subscribe. This has been one of the best, maybe even the best World Cup ever. 39 days of storylines, memories. Oh, you know what? Let me end this video like this, and I will post to you. Leave a comment on the video or in my YouTube short. Leave a comment as to what are your top 3 memories of this World Cup. Your top 3 moments of this World Cup. I think for me, in no particular order, I think for me, 3 moments in the World Cup. Cape Verde. Cape Verde is one of the best moments in this World Cup. The run that they had against Argentina, taking them to extra time, that was one of the best moments in the World Cup. I would say Mexico, England. It was a classic at the Azteca Stadium. Sorry, it was a classic, back and forth. England went to 10 men, but they still managed to hold on to a win. That was great. I would say France, England, 6-4. Even though it's for a third place finish, there's nothing else on the line. It was more or less an exhibition game, but I I like these high scoring games. I like when two teams go for the jugular, you know, whether there's anything at stake or not. It's just to see the goals flying in, to see the attackers, just be themselves, just play with no restrictions. I like that sort of games. So these are my three um, top moments. Cape Verde's run, Mexico versus England in the Azteca Stadium, and France versus England third place playoff. What are your top three moments? Leave a comment. But most importantly, like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.